Hi! I'm just going to go live on Instagram while some more people join me while I talk about why there will be no blog. Sorry, why there will be no vlog from Busan. Okay. Hi, Instagram. Hi, Facebook. All right. So let's talk about Busan. Busan is the second largest city. Oh, my sound is off. Turn some sound off here. Okay. Busan is the second largest city in Korea and a huge tourist destination because it's supposed to be like beach-tastic. Well, it was beach-tastic, but it also came with a lot of drama. And I just can't. It was rough, to say the least. Well, we did have a rough start as a family. By the time we actually got to the subway to go on our adventure, it just was a lot going on. So it takes at least 3 hours from where we are in Pyeongtaek, right outside Osan Air Force Base, to get to Busan. So we had to take a taxi from our house to the subway, take the subway to the station, switch to a train. It's a bullet train, and it goes like 120, 130 miles an hour, and it took us all the way to Busan. So we had to go kind of like a zigzag route, and so it took an extra 30 minutes. So that was also not fun. I don't know if you've ever been in a confined space with 2 toddlers, but I don't recommend it. But it was hard. They did well, but it was still a lot of work. So then when we got there, we had the option to either take more subways to get to where we're going or just take a cab. We opted to take a cab because we were just trying to get there as quickly as we could. Well, there was like a ton of traffic for no reason, and so we were stuck in traffic for longer than desired to try and get to our destination. So once we got there, we were like, woohoo, we're at the beach, but we're also starving. So we went to go look for all of this legendary street food, and all we could find was restaurant after restaurant after restaurant, literally selling the same foods over and over and over again. Now, if you are a seafood fan, this would be a great place to go, but you don't seem to have a lot of options as far as variety. It's almost just like, go and try our octopus, go and try our fish, go and try our squid, and it's kind of where it stopped. They had food on a stick and all that kind of stuff, but there just wasn't a ton of variety, which is really disappointing considering it's a whole new city with a whole culture all of its own. So we finally went to the beach, and that was actually super nice. We were able to rent an umbrella, and we were able to stay underneath it. They gave us like this big pad that we got used to, and my kids had a fantastic time playing in the water. But it was crazy cold. Like, I've swum in the Pacific, and I've heard the Atlantic is also just as cold. It was so cold, like to the point that where you just kind of get numb when you're used to it. And so the greatest thing about being a kid is you don't care when things are cold. You just want to have fun. And my fearless children rocked it at that beach. They played in the waves, they built sandcastles, they dug holes, they collected seashells. They had an awesome time, and we had to stop them because they just couldn't stop shaking from the cold. So we packed up, went to our Airbnb. That is our only way that we travel anymore, is to stay in Airbnbs, because one, hotels are really uncomfortable, and I have to share a room with my kids, and they don't have any comforts, and it's really expensive. So we always stay at Airbnbs. It's a super great way to stay anywhere. I highly recommend it. I've been doing it for 9 years, and now that I have kids, I literally will not do anything else. And then we kind of thought, okay, new day, we'll reset. And we actually went with a friend of ours, Joe, and I sent my husband and Joe off for the night to go have fun and explore. Well, they reported back that there was still nothing to do at night in Busan. There are a lot of bars and things to go like eat at, but they were actually kicked out and told that they couldn't go in because they were Americans. Now, I'm sure that Americans do have a negative stigma attached to them because they probably drink excessively and then cause a lot of problems, but still, it sucked for them. And they didn't get to have as much fun as they wanted to because they weren't allowed into certain places, which was unfortunate. So, next day, we go on the hunt for breakfast. Nothing's open. Literally nowhere to find anything to eat. So we had to go back, try and wrangle up something to eat. And then we went to this really famous market. I think it's called Jeju Market, Gejku. And it was over by where we were getting onto the train to head back, and it's supposed to have like legendary food. Well, besides being huge and having a lot of places to buy clothes and knickknacks, the same clothes and knickknacks every 3 stalls, there wasn't a lot of food options. There'd be like all these people making vegetable and potato pancakes, but there was like nothing different about them. They were literally like everyone had the same recipe. It's just a matter of which vendor you wanted to go try out. They had all of the same sort of street food that we have here up by our house. So it makes me wonder, is there really just not a lot of variety of Korean foods? Is it just we all cook from the same recipe book and just a matter of who happens to be available when you're hungry? I don't know. I was way, way disappointed at all of this food stuff, and it was really frustrating for me. It just made me sad. Like, it was just really burned out. I spent all this time, all this money, going down, hoping for this like fantastic and delicious adventure, and it just disappointed us over and over again. So then we're like, okay, well, we wouldn't have known that we didn't like it until we went down there, so let's just head home. We went to go buy our train tickets, same way that we bought them on the way there, and there was like a 2.5 hour wait for us to get on a train so that we could sit. Because it was either standing room only, which I would not do because 1, I have terrible knees, and 2, I have children. And we needed to sit to get through it. So we wait as patiently as we can. And the second fun thing that we did is outside of the Busan train station is like this giant water show thing, kind of like a splash pad back in the States, but artsy. And we just put the suits on the kids and just let them run around. Like, we're going to wear these kids out before we put them on a train. And it's exactly what we did. We wore them out. And so they did their best as they could on the train to behave as much as possible. There was this, like, train lady that kept coming by every chance she got. And, like, she shushed us and told us to be quiet. And I'm like, lady, they're kids. They're little kids. Like, considering this fact that they're on a train and they're tired and they're overstimulated, they're being really good, and they get fussy and they cry and they get upset and they need things, and it was awful. And this is one of the first times I've been here that a cultural difference really pissed me off. Look, I get it. You guys are a quiet culture, and you don't do a lot with kids out in public until they're older, but this was really frustrating for us because we were doing our best to keep this, like we were just letting them cry. We were doing our best to keep them happy, and you can't expect a 3-year-old and an almost 2-year-old to just be quiet and silent for 2 hours on a train. It's unrealistic, and it was really, really frustrating, and we were just so done at that point. So don't go to Busan. Is kind of what I'm getting at. I mean, I know that a lot of people love it and they have things to do, very commercial things to do. Like, they have a sea life aquarium there. There's literally a sea life aquarium in like every major city in the United States now, attached to a Lego experience. It's really, I mean, I'm sure it has its own things, but it's just, I come to Korea for the unique experiences. I'm exploring to figure out what this place is all about. It was awful, guys. It was awful. I don't recommend it to anybody. Save your money, go to Seoul, or go find something else to do. So, with any luck, we'll be, redoing our weekend next weekend at a new event festival that we found. Hopefully, it'll rejuvenate us and revitalize our love for exploring. But we were super disappointed. So, there will be no vlog from me about how great Busan was and showing off all the things that we did, because I literally have like 3 videos that I can really do anything with. So don't go to Busan, guys. Yeah. All right. Until next time. I'll see you soon.